Welcome to everyone. Today we will explore an interesting urban research about a site chosen from the district Independencia. First, we welcome the most popular urban planner, Alison Ramirez, with the diagnostic of the district. She will certainly start with an interesting question for most urbanists.
How do you truly understand a city before trying to change it? Our first thought wasn't to create a urban design. First, we needed to understand how this city was built. Because before proposing solution, an architect must first learn how to read a city. Everything began in 1959. Thousands of migrant families arrived in North Lima looking for a place to live. Over time, those settlements gave birth to the District of Independencia. In 1964, the district was officially established. As the population continued to grow, urban expansion spread from the flat areas toward the surrounding hillsides. Years later, the opening of Mega Plaza transformed Independencia into the main commercial center of North Lima. We realized that the district story explains many of the urban challenges we see today. Then we analyzed the territory. Not every piece of land offers the same condition for urban development. The flat areas provide greater stability for construction, but the hillside present a steep slope and unstable terrain, increasing the risk of landslide and rock falls. We discovered that the landscape itself shapes the way that the city can continue to grow. Next, we studied the people. Today, Independencia is home to more than 260,000 residents. Most of the population is young and economically active. Its cultural identity has been shaped by generations of migration. We understood that the cities are not designed only for buildings. They are designed for the people who use them every day. The economy answered another question. Why is so much activity concentrated here? Its strategic location transformed Independencia into a commercial heart of North Lima. Aspects like commerce, services, and small business drive much of the local economy. At the same time, informal commerce remains an important part of daily life. Economic growth is evident, but it still coexists with important urban challenges. We can see that every photo answers a different question. Why are some avenues constantly congested? Why are certain neighborhoods less accessible than others? The Pan American Highway and Tupac Amaru Avenue are the main avenues that connect the entire district. However, the aspects of rapid urban growth, informal transportation, and traffic congestion reduce mobility and emphasis that can affect the pedestrian safety. We discovered that a city works as one interconnected system. Then, we analyzed how the land is used. Housing, commerce, industry, and public facilities all coexist within the district. Yet informal expansion into the hillsides has created conflicts between the planned land use and the actual urban occupation. The maps reveal that the cities don't always grow where they should. Buildings tell stories too. The consolidated areas are characterized by permanent construction and misuse of buildings. Meanwhile, the hillsides contain self-building housing with limited infrastructure. The way a city is built reflects the way it has grown. And then everything started to make sense. The maps were no longer showing information. They were revealing real urban challenges. For example, the lack of green spaces, traffic congestion, public insecurity, and informal commerce. We realized that no one of these problems exists in isolation. They are all connected within the same urban system. But a urban diagnosis is not only about identifying problems, it is also about discovering opportunities, like improving connectivity, create new public spaces, expand green infrastructure, strengthen community facilities, and reconnect the neighborhoods. That was the moment that we stopped seeing a district of full forests, and we started seeing as its full potential. We learned to think like urban planners. We understood that a safe street doesn't depend only on the surface lands. It depends on the people using it, walking through it, and making it part of every life. We discovered that a successful place isn't successful because it looks beautiful. is successful because people choose to stay, and that was the moment that we knew exactly where our project had to begin.
What makes a place the right place for the urban transformation? Is it its location, its accessibility, or maybe its potential to improve people's lives? Before designing on purpose, we know we had to answer these questions. We were looking for the sites with excellent accessibility, a place connected to city main transportation network. We were looking for a site with real urban impact, one that could benefit not only its immediately surroundings but also the entire district. We needed a place with the potential to transform it in the environmental, a place where architecture and urban planning could create meaningful change. And we found it. Located in Independencia, design immediately caught our attention. Its strategic location near the Panamericana Norte Highway, the Naranja Transportation Hub, and important commercial areas made unrealistic summiting. This wasn't just another empty site, it was an opportunity to transformation an industrial area into a new urban center focusing on people's sustainable and public life. But selecting the site was only the first step. To understand its real potential, we needed the analysis in the depth. So we studied its zoning, accessibility, urban form, environmental conditions, public facilities, infrastructure, and future opportunities. We began by studying the current zoning of the area. We found that the site is surrounded by industrial, commercial, and residential land uses. This diversity keeps the area economically active, but also creates several urban conflicts. Indoors activity generates noise and environmental pollution, while commercial use increases traffic congestion and reduces pedestrian comfort. Residential areas are located very close to these activities, creating an imbalance between the different urban functions. Next, we analyze how people and vehicles move through the area. One of the greatest strengths of the site is excellent accessibility. It is directly connected to major roads such as Panamericana Norte Highway, Avenida Tupac Amaru, and Avenida Alfredo Mandiola. In addition, the nearby Naranjal Metropolitan Station allows thousands of people to access the area every day through public transportation. However, our analysis also revealed important challenges. Sidewalks are often narrow, pedestrian crossings and they're not always safe, and heavy traffic dominates many streets. As a result, walking becomes uncomfortable and, in some cases, unsafe. The finding remains is that a successful city should prioritize people, not only vehicles. We also identify the main risks affecting the area. Air pollution and noise pollution are constant problems due to the high concentration of traffic and industrial activities. We also found a strong set of green areas which reduce environmental quality and limits recreation opportunity for residents. In addition, traffic congestion and the lack of quality public spaces negatively affect everyday life. Coordinate this problem allow is the urban but needed to change in order to create a healthier and more sustainable urban environment. Another important part of our analysis for evaluating the existing facilities and urban infrastructure. The area already benefits from school, hospital, commercial centers, and efficient public transportation. Basic services such as water, electricity, drainage, and telecommunication are available through most of the site. Their condition improves a strong foundation for the future urban development. However, despite these advances, their use still a significant lack of quality public spaces where people can meet, relax, and interact with the community. Finally, we summarize all of our finishing the through as SWOT analysis. We identified important strengths, including the strategic location of design, excellent accessibility, and its proximity to major urban service. At the same time, we recognized weaknesses such as traffic, congestion, environmental pollution, and the shortage of green spaces. We also discovered the violation opportunity for urban regeneration, sustainable mobility, and the creation of new public spaces. Finally, we consider the future threats included in controlled urban growth, increasing pressure of infrastructure, and environmental deterioration if no action is taken. After completing this analysis, when this became clear, the site was not just another piece of land, it was an opportunity to rethink the future in the Independencia. And based on everything we learned from the analysis, we are already the develop of master plan proposal.
Now, let's share our vision. Our architectural response is a concept we call BCR. So what do we mean by this? We mean that our project breeds, connects, and renews. Instead of continuous industrial warehouse, we are introducing a panoramic idealization, creating a self-transformation model where local commerce, lane plazas, and micro-housing work together in a perfect harmony. And to make this vision real, we have our own strategy that rests on three structural pillars. First is the sustainability mobility. So, to secure the borders, we focus more on people that transit near our proposal. Second is the urban regeneration to scale the park back to the human scale in the dimensions that are appropriate to the people. And third, to active economic boulevards to keep the park busy, alive, and safe at any hour. So we can apply the theory of eyes in the park and at any moment. Now, let's talk about technical feasibility. This ain't just a dream, it's a planned reality. So we are currently in a phase 3 of technical dossier. This is where the architectural mixes sketches to make a detailed engineering regulatory compliance. So we can see that there are many entities focused on this proposal that we have to work together. We have a small little continuous sequence of this coordination and the things that we have to do to make this plan work. This zoning matrix is also displayed here. It's a zoning that we display for our special ship. We are changing a massive chunk of heavy industrial work and changing it directly into CRP, or what we call public recreational zone, occupying 75% of our proposal. This is accompanied by an active commercial edge that we could make a boulevard so that people can have a lively and more residential area. And lastly, here is our metric, 75%. And 75% of the entire project is of a green footprint, dedicating strictly to greenery and community areas. This isn't just about planting grass, it's an environmental shield against highway noise and a critical boost to public health. And there you have it. The transformation of Independencia is not just a proposal, it is a vision of modern, human-centric city waiting to rise at any moment. And I'm your architect host representing UCIL Urban Development. So here we will see how this plan will work if we focus on the three dimension, and this is it.
Now, we seen the district analysis, we seen why we chose this seat, and we seen how the master plan come together. But one important question still remains. Will it really work? Architect creating a beautiful design is not enough. We also need to prove that our project can improve the city with real numbers, with real evidence. For that, let's begin with the economic impact. The park does more that improve the appearance of the area. It creates opportunities. The project could generate up to 180 temporary jobs during the construction and of the 80 permanent jobs after it's open. It also supports local business and could increase nearby property values by up to 25%. Next, in the social impact, today Independencia have very few public space where people can meet. For that, our proposal at 2.5 hectares of green space and 20 new cultural and sport areas for children, young people, and adults, and older adults. More than 50,000 people could benefit directly from this project. The environmental impact is just as important, and the project includes 140 new trees. And for that together, they can capture almost 3 tons of carbon dioxide every year. And the new green area also absorb rainwater naturally, helping reduce flooding and improving the local environment. Now, from an urban perspective, the project removes the barrier that once divided the neighborhood, and all industrial city becomes a safe public space with 100% pedestrian accessibility directly connected to public transportation. At the territorial scale, this park becomes much more than a local project. This is about, for example, it is only 7 minutes from the Naranjal Metropolitan Station and about 30 minutes from the Jorge Chavez Airport. Its strategic location helps connect Independencia with North Lima and makes the park easy to reach for thousands of people. So, will it really work? Based on the results, the answer is yes. The project creates jobs, improves public space, supports the environment, and strengthens connection across the city. But beyond the numbers, it represents something ever more important. When we started this course, we thought architecture was mainly about designing buildings. But today, we understand that architecture is about improving people's life. Every design decision can create better place to live, meet, and learn, and grow. This project is more than a new park. It's an opportunity to transform an industrial city into a place for nature, culture, recreation, and community. Yes, today is only a proposal, but tomorrow it could become part of the future of Independencia. Thank you for joining us.